Are you sure you've never followed the crowd without thinking? Ever seen a long line outside a restaurant and thought, that place must be good, even though you have no idea what they serve? Congrats, you just experienced the bandwagon effect. Our brains are wired to trust the majority. If enough people believe something, we assume it must be true. This comes from our survival instincts. Back in ancient times, sticking with the group meant staying alive. But in today's world, it often just means following trends without questioning them. Social media makes this worse. When a post goes viral, we're more likely to believe it. Not because it's true, but because it's popular. And algorithms? They keep showing us what everyone else is talking about, creating the illusion that everyone thinks the same way. So, how do you break free? Simple. Pause, question, think. Just because something is trending doesn't mean it's right. Instead of following the crowd, ask yourself, do I really believe this, or am I just going with the flow? Don't let the internet think for you. Be the one who asks why.
I think this is why Sigma is so much more attractive to people than Alpha, because the Alpha male is measurable. He is the top of an organization. He has lots of people who are loyal to him. He can command respect when he walks into a room. The Sigma says that he is like the Alpha, but without any of the outward signs. So he doesn't have a wife. Well, that's okay. He doesn't want one. And he doesn't have an organization that he leads. Well, that's why he doesn't want one. And he doesn't really get all of the accolades usually. Well, that's fine. He doesn't want those accolades. He doesn't care.
A Sigma male doesn't seek approval. He builds himself in silence. While the Alpha roars for attention, the Sigma refines his power, knowing that the strength in silence is far greater than the noise of the crowd. The Sigma's path is walked alone, not because he is antisocial, but because he understands that solitude breeds clarity, focus, and an unshakable sense of self-worth. In a world obsessed with dominance, the Sigma male masters self-control. He doesn't need to conquer others. He is too busy conquering his own mind. While others chase women for validation, the Sigma focuses on building his empire. He knows that a man on his mission attracts more than a man who begs for attention. The Alpha needs to be in control. The Sigma is already in control of himself, his emotions, and his destiny. That is the difference between power and true power. When society tries to fit you into a mold, the Sigma male breaks it. He doesn't rebel for rebellion's sake. He simply refuses to live by anyone else's standards but his own. The Alpha wins battles in the spotlight. The Sigma wins wars in the shadows. The victory of the unseen man is greater because it is earned without the need for praise.
Black Ram 313 back at you again. You know why? Well, it's because this is therapeutic, man. Back in with another video, hence another therapy session for the Patreon page exclusively. Back with another Shadows video, man. Let's get right into it without further ado. One of the main tenets of living in the shadows is being a minimalist. And we often apply minimalism to one part of our lives, which is items that we have, the accumulation of goods, but we don't apply it to other areas. So I'm going to talk today about how being a minimalist, a middleman, a medium man, a balanced man fits along with the shadows ideology. Now, yes, we are the type in the shadows that only may have 5 or 6 pair of pants. Only have maybe 5 or 6 pair of shoes for different occasions. I'm a very practical guy. I don't like to waste money. So if I have a pair of shoes, it's just shoes for X occasion, Y occasion, Z occasion, clothes to fit the summer, clothes for the winter and spring, stuff like that. In fact, what I do is the clothes that's for the spring and summer, same clothes. Fall and winter, same clothes. Different, but same clothes. So I only have 5 or 6 outfits for each season. And I'm cool with that. I'm a minimalist. I'm not really big into clothes. If you ever see me wearing a shirt that says Louis Vuitton or something like that, it's probably a shirt that I grabbed while I was in Thailand for less than $10. That's just what it is. Now, I don't care about the labels, but every now and then I might grab a shirt like, in Thailand, hey, I want a new shirt, and the shirt I'm wearing is, nasty. I don't feel like washing it, so I'll grab it. The guy's selling it for $10. Why not? Anyway, my point is that minimalism is a way of life. And it's comfortable. Of course I could. Of course we could buy more clothes. Of course we could do more shopping. Of course we can accumulate more things. Of course I could probably get a better car, a newer car. But my car is a 2014, I believe. Yeah, my car is a 2014. It is 2025. Yes, my car is a Lexus ES350. I bought it in 2019. It was like a 2014. I don't believe in buying brand new cars unless crypto runs and I'm rich. That's a different story. But at the income bracket that I'm in now, no new cars for me. And my car is over 10 years old. And I'm hoping to keep it for another 10 years unless crypto run. And then we may see. We may see after that. But the point I want to make is that we often apply minimalism to buying things. Well, what about minimalism when it comes to other areas of your life? Now, let me make this disclaimer. And this is an important one. In the Shadows is an ideology and a philosophy, but it's not a one size fits all. In other words, the way I live in the shadows may not be the exact same way you live in the shadows, but it's still in the shadows because the main principles are minimalism, not wanting attention, not being too outspoken or overly emotional, not being in large crowds. You can make exception with large crowds. If you're traveling somewhere and they're having a festival, that's one thing, but I don't intentionally deal with a lot of large crowds. And if I decide to do a large crowd here and there, it doesn't make me not a shadows dweller. I'm just saying I'm more comfortable either by myself or with a small group of people or just with a chick or two. That's pretty much what it is. But I am not the happy, party-go-lucky in the crowd. But we are social animals, and there's times that we need to be social. So you might catch me at a festival somewhere in the Philippines, or you might catch me at a festival in Thailand. You might even catch me at a few places in America, but not excessively or extensively. That doesn't mean I'm not in the shadows. It just means I prefer solitude. I prefer being alone. I prefer even traveling by myself. Of course, we can meet up with the guys and kick it, but I'm just a loner, man. I like to do my own thing. I'm solo dolo when it comes to everything. I like my time alone. I don't like to spend every minute under a chick. I don't like to be around a bunch of dudes too much. I'm good. I enjoy my own company, peace and quiet, and have a chick come through, smash, and we can lay up and be romantic, and then she can go and I can enjoy the next day all by myself. Those are the things we do here in the shadows. But again, I wanted to address other areas of life. So for this video, I want to talk about being a balanced man, a middle man, a medium man. What do you mean by that, Black Ram? A middle man, a medium man? Well, it has to do with things like ambition. It has to do with working hard in your everyday life. It has to do with being able to enjoy every moment of your life and every facet of your life. What are you talking about, Black Ram? Well, let's get into it. What I mean by a middle man, medium man, minimal man, all of these things is that I don't do too much. And I noticed that I never have. Starting with elementary school and high school. And some of you guys may have experienced this too, but I'm trying to make a point, see if you can relate to what I'm about to say. So starting in elementary school, man, I was the type where I wasn't good at math, so I tried to avoid that like the plague. And although I worked hard to understand math and do math, I just never could get the mathematical concepts. And I realized later on in my life that I'm innumerate, and it's a mental deficiency, not something that happens to me because I'm lazy. My brain just doesn't work when it comes to mathematics. And there are some reasons for that from my childhood and some reasons from that by the way I was born that I won't get into in this video because that's not the point. The point is that I struggled in school mathematically, but I was able to do well in other areas without really working hard. Now, I could have worked harder in math, but I didn't. But I did work hard. I worked harder at math than all my other subjects, but just couldn't get it. But I knew that I couldn't devote all my time with mathematics and neglect everything else. So I did spend time with what I was good at, which is, reading and writing. And I was always in accelerated courses in high school and even in college when it came to reading and comprehension. Had high English level courses in high school and in college. Now, I could have worked harder. I could have been a strictly A and B student, but I got a lot of C's because I didn't apply myself that much. Do I regret it? No, and I'll tell you why. And mathematics, the best I could ever get was a C or a D. And that's just something that was never in the cards for me. Mathematics was just never there. In fact, I wanted to go into nursing, actually, and possibly, expand my career in nursing because they make a lot of money. Male nurses make a lot of money because you got, when I say make a lot of money, it's a nursing profession, period. And being a male nurse, you got access to different ladies and different hospitals. I knew it would have been a lick for me to be a male nurse. And I would have had chances for advancement. You could become a specialized nurse. I knew you could become, have a master's in nursing and actually become, even more financially successful. But I couldn't do math, so that wasn't in the cards for me. And making money, being around women and smashing, what can be better than that, right? Anyway, so I would apply myself, but I would stay like right in the middle, right? I didn't get bad grades, but I didn't get excellent grades. And if I applied myself, I probably could have got excellent grades. But I wanted to go outside and play. There was things I wanted to do. In other words, I didn't want to spend all of my energy, all of my mind power, and all of my time, which is the most valuable thing, on academics and accelerating in school. Because I knew, hey, I don't want to be a doctor or a lawyer. I don't want to be anything special. I want a nice government job, enough to take care of my family, and I'm not going to work hard to try to be like a PhD and all this other stuff. That's just me. Not saying it has to be you. Again, we all can live in the shadows in our own way. Black 1313 is about individual freedom and an individual mindset. As a black man, and I'm just talking, I know this doesn't apply to you guys, as a black man, and as black men, we should be able to think differently, but still relate. We should be able to think differently, have different opinions, and live different ways, but still respect each other in the way we live. I can't stand that about a nigga, man. A nigga think if you don't think like his ass, act like his ass, and talk like his ass, and you his fucking enemy. That's that white supremacist, single mother bullshit that niggas just always into. Anyway, that's not us, thankfully. Now, my point is that I never wanted to work really hard, man. I wanted to take time to go outside and enjoy life. I wanted to take time and enjoy the females. I had a chick tell me, so you deal with a lot of women. If you took all of the energy you had with playing with women and put it in something constructive, you'll probably be rich. I'm not, you could be right. But I know that being rich, first of all, has to be in the cards. Things have to line up a certain way. But I don't let you have to work awfully hard. And what is life with just working hard and no play? So for me, it had to be a balance. Now, most people live their lives like, I'll work hard now, which is nothing wrong with that. And I'll live to be an old man. I'll be able to enjoy my life later, which, hey, may not happen for you. Nobody knows how long we're going to live. And you don't know what kind of condition you're going to be in when you get old. So where's the balance? Where is the middle for that? And I've always been a guy that was looking for the balance of things. And the balance is, for me, not for you necessarily, that I am going to work hard enough in school to get passing grades and maybe even a little bit above. I've got B's, I've got A's in certain courses, but a lot of C's, and I've always been content with those C's. Why? Because I don't want to spend an extra hour on homework. I don't want to spend an extra 4 hours on trying to learn this. I don't want to spend 8 years in school, post high school, trying to get a career. I didn't want to spend that kind of time. I don't want to spend all of my youth working hard for a day that may never come. But however, now the wisdom says, because it's wisdom over ego, I'm going to work hard enough today so I can have a pleasant tomorrow. But I'm going to enjoy today in case tomorrow doesn't come. That's always been my mindset. Always been my mindset. So again, balance, man. Now, if you're an ambitious person and you work hard, this is no knock. This is no diss. Don't put in the fucking comments section, oh, babe, with my disagree, I believe in working hard. I'm not saying you shouldn't work hard. I'm not saying you shouldn't grind. What I am saying is that is not for everybody. I'm not going to judge you. Don't judge me. Now, being in the middle, that worked in high school and in college. But then when I got to my blue collar job, I continued being a middleman. You may say, well, you middleman, you just got a blue collar job. You're not a professional. You got C's in high school and in college, and you got your little blue collar job, government job. Okay, fine. But I noticed that people were very ambitious there, grinding hard. Again, nothing wrong with that. But it's not for me. I'm a minimalist. I'm in the shadows. I don't want to work hard for cars and clothes and hoes. If I'm going to get some hoes, it's going to be off my game, my mouthpiece, or flat rate. I'm not going to buy expensive jewelry to impress hoes. I bought one silver chain in my life. It was silver. It wasn't gold. It wasn't platinum, silver. And I don't even wear that motherfucker, so that was a mistake. Still got it today, though. And I bought it like almost 20 years ago. Now, my point in all of this is saying that even on the job, you have guys working hard and grinding for cars, clothes to impress hoes. And that was never my thing. Now, I want to work and play. And my mindset was, hey, man, this is a government job. It pays a livable wage. I'm not going to be rich. I'm not going to be wealthy. But this job pays a livable, keyword, livable wage. And if I can't get it with my 8-hour job, it's not going to be got. Now, don't get me wrong. If I got a trip that I want to take, or if I need a little extra money for something, I'll work a day or two overtime here and there, maybe 2-3 times a year. I might work a day overtime. But at my job, you could get overtime every damn day. Because although we are blue collar, if you're ambitious enough and you work hard and you grind, you can make a decent amount of money. You pretty much can double your income. Almost triple it, because it's time and a half. So here's the scenario. I had brothers working hard, right? Just like me, black men at the job, working hard. These brothers would be putting in 40 additional hours a week at time and a half, rocking in the dough. Good for you, man. One buddy of mine bought a house, fixed it up, really nice. Same guy bought a couple of cars and some clothes and swimming in hoes. Good. The sacrifice was he had to work overtime every day. That's 16 hours. Let's say 2 hours for preparation and time to get to work. Now we up to 18. And 2 hours leaving for work. That's 20 hours. So in a 24-hour period, he's working 20, only 4 to himself. And that worked for some guys. And I know a lot of guys that work like that. But a couple of my buddies working like that. One guy I know had a heart attack. Other guys I know got sick. One guy pulled me to the side and said, hey, man, I work a lot of overtime and spend a lot of money. And all I got to show for it is a closet full of clothes that I don't even wear anymore. I said, damn, all of that hard work. And no knock to Mercedes-Benz. Another buddy of mine bought him a Mercedes-Benz. That's always stayed in the shop. Although it was a newer car, it wasn't brand new off the factory floor, but it was like 3 years old. And his Benz spent more time in the shop than it did on the street, because it's a Mercedes-Benz. That's why we buy Lexus, Toyota, Honda, and Acura. But he didn't know that, because he bought the Benz to impress hoes. Now, all of the overtime that he worked, 20-hour days, same guy I'm talking about. He bought a lot of clothes. The same guy told me all he got to show for his money is his clothes. Bought a nice car. Got his house fixed up in the hood. Looked real nice. It's a bitch pad. Looking beautiful. Fucking pretty hoes. By the way, my hoes were not as pretty as his. He was fucking with 8s and 9s. I was fucking with 5s, 6s, and 7s at this time. This was when I'm in my 30s, right? I'd rather pay less and work less and fuck a 6 and 7 than work like he did to fuck a 7 and 8. That's just me. I'm in the middle, baby. I'm in the middle. He fucking 7s and he fucking 8s and 9s. I'm not gonna lie. The nigga was fucking 8s and 9s. Hoes was cold. The bras I'm fucking with at the time at my peak, 5, 6, and a couple of 7s. I didn't really hit a lot of 8s or 9s. Definitely not no dimes, right? They only make them up to 9.5 anyway. But the brother told me, like, hey man, all I got to show for this shit, it's clothes I don't even wear. He never stopped buying clothes. He never stopped working overtime. He never stopped fucking with the hoes. But he realized that, hey, man, you onto something, because I see your lifestyle, Ram. And you fuck with bitches, but you don't spend a lot of money. You got a Lexus. You just had a Toyota Corolla. Yeah, we had a Toyota Corolla and bought a Lexus. You don't buy fancy clothes. You stay in a 1-bedroom apartment in the suburbs instead of a house in the hood. Because I'm in the middle. I don't need all of that. Because this brother had to work 5 days a week and be busy for 20 hours, man. What I would do my 8, hit the gate, go home, eat me something nice, chill out a little bit, watch a little television, do YouTube shit, have a chick come through, and I'm good. But this man had to be at work. But don't get me wrong, when he did play, he played. When he traveled, he traveled. When he went to clubs, and this is what it was all about. He did all this so he can go to clubs wearing about $30,000 worth of stuff. $10,000 chain, $5,000 earring, clothes and shoes cost a lot of money, and it attracted the hoes. But where is that money now? Gone down the drain, baby. Down the drain to fuck with some hoes. But I always wanted to stay in the middle. So I didn't work the overtime. And tragically, I knew a brother also who was a family man. Family man. Don't get me wrong, he would do his stuff on the side. But not just because a guy's a player that he worked that hard. I knew a family man that worked hard like that. One brother, God rest his soul, he would also work an additional 40 hours a week. That's an 80-hour work week. 80-hour work week. Now, I don't know these guys' lives to the degree what they did every day. But if you work in 16-hour days, 5 days a week, something in your life is being neglected. Most likely you're not eating right. Most likely you are not exercising. Most likely you're not getting the proper rest, because nobody talks about how rest and health goes together. So now you're taking parts off your life. Now you're making your life shorter and more difficult, because it cannot be healthy to eat from the restaurant every day, work all this goddamn overtime, be under all of this damn stress working in a prison, and you can't fucking tell me that that's going to be healthy for you down the line, even though you okay today. There is going to be a time where you have to pay the piper. But I stay in the middle. I'm not finna do 5 16-hour shifts every goddamn week. If I can't fuck a bitch with my 40 hours and my 1-bedroom apartment and my 5-year-old Lexus at the time, she ain't gonna be fucked. It's as simple as that. I'm not finna go all out. But here go the thing. As a black man, you're considered a loser if you're not a grinder on your hustle like that. As a black man, you're considered a loser if you're not ambitious like that. Well, aren't you going to try to be a supervisor? Won't you try to get a master's degree? Like the B-Dub. The B-Dub just wants you to work yourself to the fucking bone. Put yourself in the ground early so she can take your pension or your 401k or whatever you get and run away from it. And that bitch will shame you. Why aren't you ambitious? Why aren't you working hard? And niggas are so fucking weak, stupid, dumb, pussies, bitches, and single mother raised, feminine narrative, all of that shit in their head that they think that if they work themselves to death, that makes them a man. You motherfucking fool. Now, again, I'm not saying don't grind and work hard, man. Some of us have to work and go to school. Brother, I did it. I went to college. Brother, look. When my daughter was born, I said, fuck it, I got to get some money. So I dropped out of college and got 2 jobs, not one, because I wasn't ever going to be in a position where my daughter or my daughter's mom was going to say, hey, I need something. And I say these words, I ain't got it. I ain't got it yet. And I can't get it. That's not something you say when you got a kid. You got a kid, you take care of your kid. So we're never going to be no, oh, I don't have, you got to wait. My kid needs something, bam. Because a kid can't eat a promise. Kid can't eat a promise. So I dropped out and got 2 jobs. And while I was in college, I went to college and I worked. Yeah. Went to school and worked. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. You're a young man. You're starting from the bottom. You got to push your way through. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but there has to be a balance, because you have to enjoy every area of your life at every point in your life. So it can't be just all work and no play. Now, don't get me wrong. Life is set up in the West. If you're not rich, that life is, and I heard, I had an African-American history teacher, George Crockett, that said this. He says, life is all work and little play. And this is true. It is all work and little play. This is true. But when it's time to play hard. And I'm not going to do extra work. Yeah, it's work and little play, but I'm not going to do extra work. For what? I'm in the middle. I'm a minimalist. For what? What do I need to work hard for? No. For these hoes? No. So pay more taxes? No. Because you know if you get that overtime and you get that money, you're in a higher tax bracket. You're just going to be paying more to taxes. Fuck that, man. That's a goddamn trap. That American dream shit is dead. But back to my buddy who worked hard, although he had a family and a family life. And he's no longer with us. God bless his soul. So this brother would work 80 hours a week. He would be either, and then on his off days, he worked a part-time. I am not bullshitting, man. This dude will work overtime almost every day, but there's a limit. You can't work, you saw the limit of how much overtime you can get. You can't work. You can work 7 days, but you can't work a whole 24 hours. But this brother would have a part-time too. So he worked every day overtime and a part-time job. He did that, and it worked out for him in the sense that he had pretty much the best house in a bad neighborhood, beautiful family, 4 or 5 dogs, cane Corsos. That's expensive. I think he had 4 cane Corsos. Those dogs are 150 pounds a piece. Do you know how much food that is? Now, I'm not exaggerating. The brother had 4 or 5 cars, a couple of big trucks. I think he had, I want to say it was a Ford truck, man. It's one of those biggest trucks that you get before you get to where you need to have the 2 wheels in the back, man. Old one, but he had it hooked up and everything. He had a lot of nice trucks, more than one truck, nice cars. Lived in a bad neighborhood, but his house was just immaculate. You walk in, he had a stripper pole. Although he's married, he would have parties and he had a stripper pole. Strippers come over, his wife didn't mind him having the strippers and all this other shit. He had it together, but at what cost, man? And four cane Corsos, 150 pounds a piece, big motherfuckers. That's a lot of food. Fixing up that house in the hood, a lot of money. Driving those cars, a lot of money. Playing with hoes, a lot of money. And I believe, this is speculation, one of the reasons why he passed from COVID is because he wasn't taking care of his body. He was a diabetic, underlying illness, and you still eating bad food, and you working your body to the, you're working your hands to the bone. So your body cannot take working in a high stressful environment like a prison. It cannot take your bad eating habits, stress, bad eating habits, overworking yourself, and not getting any sleep. And the brother passed away of COVID when the pandemic hit. And this is one of the reasons why I was arguing with brothers. I'm like, hey, man, I know everybody, all these brothers out here saying it ain't real. That's because you haven't been affected by it. Working in a prison is ground zero because you have a population that's coming in off of the street who are exposed to all of these germs and all these ailments out here. And they're coming into this closed off place where you're seeing all this. The 2 worst places during the COVID pandemic was hospitals and prisons, because all of that sickness is coming in there with you and you were incubating in it. And I've known people to die from it, like the brother that I spoke of. That's why I had to get away from everybody who claimed that COVID was fake, because I had it twice, I almost died, and all of those things. I don't gonna say almost died, but I was so sick that I almost went to the hospital, but I didn't, so I'm not going to put that out there. But the whole point in saying all of these things is that brother, although he lived the life he wanted, he didn't have the balance. And of course, we shoulda, coulda, woulda. But if the brother would have rolled back some of the overtime, instead of working 5 days, maybe do 2 days, maybe get a little extra rest, maybe bring your lunch to work, a little healthier eating. Who knows? I don't know if he would have still been here. But my point is that we don't know how long we're going to live. Life is short and things happen. If all you're going to do is work hard for material items, man. Now, this is not if you got a goal in mind. If you say, hey, Ram, I'm trying to buy a house. I'm trying to be debt free. I'm trying to pay for a trip. So I got to get on my grind for 4 months, 5 months, a year, 2 years. I am not talking about you, because I've done that. I just told you I had 2 jobs because I had to feed my daughter. And I will work the overtime for additional, but we're talking about excessive. You're working excessively to live in excess that you don't need. I mean, how many fucking shirts do you need? How many pair of blue jeans do you need? How many new cars do you need? And like going back to my buddy with the Mercedes Benz, the Benz got on some hoes, but the Benz cost $60,000 and it was used. Not only are you paying interest and a car note on that, that damn thing got to go in the shop. And not everything is warranty work. That damn thing got to go in the shop. Now your $60,000 Benz now is costing you $100,000. Now to fuck that hoe is costing you $100,000. Not mentioning the jewelry, not mentioning the clothes. The car maintenance, all the extra shit you got at the crib just to impress a bitch. Damn, that's some expensive ass pussy. But then you gonna tell a nigga like me a flat rate, I'm a lame. Fuck you, I'm smarter than you, bitch. That's what it come down to. All of that time, energy, and effort. I'm not talking about my buddy. I'm just using an example. But all that time, energy, and effort you spent on cars and clothes to fuck these hoes, when you could just pay a flat rate. You paid hundreds of $1,000s to fuck these hoes indirectly, but you still paid. So you tell me which one is lame, paying hundreds of $1,000s for cars, clothes to impress hoes, or $50 or $100 for one hoe for one night, because that's all they're worth anyway. Wisdom over ego. You be the judge, man. But I'm a minimalist. Ambition is fine, but it has to be, where's the balance? I'm a middleman, a medium man. I don't have to have the best shit, but I don't want the worst shit. Let me give you an example of being a medium man. When I go to the store, you got 3 levels of things. I think I use this as an example, but I'm gonna use it again. And this is from research. Remember, wisdom over ego, right? Knowledge is power, right? So here's an example of me being a middleman, and I'm gonna give a couple of examples. So example number 1, you have 3 stores. They're all the same store, same company, same store, same company, although the products differ. The products do differ, but it's the same company. They have exactly 3 stores selling clothes now, but the quality is different. And the name of that company is The Gap, also known as Banana Republic, also known as Old Navy. And I'm sure everybody's familiar with those 3 stores. The top, Banana Republic. Most expensive clothes, higher quality clothes. You're going to keep those clothes a longer time if you buy them from there, because it's quality. It's quality. That's the top tier. Then you have the mid tier, which is The Gap. Quality clothes, you're going to have them for a nice long time. Not as long as you have it from the Banana Republic, but you're going to have those clothes. They're going to be nice at The Gap. Mid tier. At the bottom is Old Navy, where you buy an outfit from there, you might get a year and a half. The Gap, you might get 3.5 years. Banana Republic, if you take care of your clothes, you might get 5 years out of it. You see where I'm going? The prices are relative. Old Navy, cheap. Gap, a little bit more expensive. Banana Republic, more expensive. Where do Black Ram 313 shop? I'm not fucking with Old Navy, because if you buy cheap, you buy twice. Kevin Samuels taught me that. He said, hey, Ram, you buying clothes. If you buy cheap, you buy twice. You want to make sure you're buying something that's of quality. And he was right. So I would shop at The Gap. And Banana Republic, when they had something on sale, Kevin Samuels said, hey, get you some Pima cotton shirts. Okay, Kevin. Go to the store, Banana Republic. Oh, man, you know, these Pima cotton shirts are expensive as hell. But guess what? Around certain times of the year, they have a sale. So instead of paying $30 for one shirt, it was 40% off. Oh, 40% off, 30% off. Oh, plus, you know, extra coupon here and there. I end up paying $20 for a shirt that costs about $40 or so, $30 or so. I end up paying either $20 for it or $15 for it. Banana Republic. Buying stuff on sale. What's my point in saying this? I'm not going to spend all my money for the top tier stuff. No. I'm not going to get that cheap shit. I'm going to stay in the middle. Most of the time when I go get gas on my Lexus, I use it regular, but every now and then I treat my car to the mid tier, not the premium, mid-grade. I'm a mid-grade nigga. Say it with me, a mid-grade nigga. I'm not going to try to spend the money to fuck the baddest hoe. If you got to have XYZ to fuck the 8, I'm fine with just fucking the 5. Mid-tier guy. I could have got the top of the line Lexus LS 430 or LS 460. Big, beautiful car, gonna last a long time. Big, pretty, but it's a gas guzzler. Like, oh, okay. This Lexus LS 460. Now it's the LS 500. But the 460, beautiful car. I would love it. I love Lexus, man. Nice, luxurious car. But wait a minute. I would have to get an older model. It will cost me more. And that damn thing is premium gas only. And that motherfucker's a gas guzzler because it's a bigger, heavier car with a bigger engine. Damn. Whew. And then I would like to have the Lexus truck. No, can't do it, man. With my income, being a blue collar, it would look stupid for me to buy a Lexus LS 460. Don't even have a garage to put it in. I live in an apartment building. Still live in an apartment. I don't have a garage to put a car in. I do not have a garage. You might have a garage, but I don't. So to me, getting the LS 460 was stupid. So what can I do? I don't want to get the little, at one time they had these little Lexus, these small Lexus cars that just look like crap for girls. I don't want that either. I'm a mid-range nigga, right? I could have got the GS, but that's more sporty. Let me get the ES. So you got the ES, the GS, and the LS. And then under the ES is the IS, I think. Smaller car. So I don't want the little one, but I don't need that big motherfucker. Mid-tier. Give me the ES that takes regular fuel. It's more fuel efficient because it's a smaller car, but it's just as reliable as all of the Lexus cars out there. Mid-range nigga. Now, I could have tried to just go broke and spend a lot of money and get the big boy Lexus. Maybe I would have fucked more hoes. But I would have spent more money. So the Lexus big boy probably would have got me a couple of 8s and a couple of 7s. But I'm fine with the 6s that the ES350 and the ES330 when I had it. I'm happy with the 5 and 6s and occasional 7s that they got me because I'm a medium man, a middle man, a mid-tier nigga. Because I didn't want to spend all that money and work that goddamn hard to fuck these pretty hoes. Now, well, shit. If I want to fuck a dime, well, shit, I'd take my ass to Colombia then. But I probably won't do that. Mid-tier again in Colombia. Last example. In Colombia. Beautiful place, man. Cartagena. The price of pussy is relative. I'm not saying that I trick. I ain't saying that you should trick. I ain't saying that you should do something illegal. I'm not saying that this is a thought experiment. My disclaimer. This is just for sake of conversation, right? Again, I'm not saying that you should go and spend money and to fuck chicks. This is just a thought experiment. This is a hypothetical, right? We just talking here. But in Cartagena, you're going to start off with a 6. And you really ain't going to find no chick in Cartagena that's not a 6. I'm talking about whatever you think a 6 is in America. Whatever you think that 6 is in America, that's a 5 in Cartagena. Listen now. It's a 5 in Cartagena. So a Cartagena 6 is like an American 7. Think about it. But I'm just going to go with a 6. So a Cartagena 6 is probably an American 7, and one can make an argument for American 8, but I'm just going to stay with those numbers. So when I'm in Cartagena, or when you go to Cartagena, you can deal with 6s and 7s. And that's going to cost you, you know, a basic amount of money. Let's just say, let me just throw a number out there. I'm not saying these are real numbers. Let's just say that's going to cost you $75. To smash a Cartagena 6, which is an American 7, it's going to cost you about $75. You can fuck a 6 and you can fuck a 7 for about $75. Not a real number. This number I'm just putting out there, right? Now, if you want to pay maybe $50 more, all the way up to maybe $75 to $100 more, now we into the territory where you can fuck the 8s and the 9s and damn near dimes. Bitches so fine make you slap your motherfucking mama. I'm talking about bitch so fine you make an ugly face like damn. Bitch so fine you get ugly. Make an ugly motherfucking face. But it's gonna cost you. So what would Black Ram 313 do? Okay, you know, she want $150. This one right here wants 75, almost double, right? Well, double. You know, I'm not good with math. Well, you know, she's an 8, which makes an American 9. She's a 7, which makes an American 8. I'll do it one time for the experience, but I'm fine with my 6s and 7s because the 6s and 7s in Colombia are like 7s and 8s in America. I'm cool. I'm cool with that. Mid-tier dude. One time for the hell of it, the 8s and the 9s, but I'm cool. You know why? Because instead of fucking 1.9, nigga, I can fuck 2 7s for the same price. That's the type of guy I am. Practical. That's how I think. Mid-tier ninja, man. Middleman. No, I'm cool. I'm cool with Shorty. Listen, Shorty over there, that mamacita, that Colombian lady, is a 7 in Colombia. Makes her 8 in America. Beautiful. She ain't fat, pretty. I'm good with that. Now, you bougie dick niggas, y'all can go and get the chicks that cost more. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But I'd rather have 2 for the price of 1 than just 1. That's just me. Middle of the road type of cat, man. And you just got to make this life work for you, man. However that might be. I'm just a low-key, chill, mid-tier type of nigga. I'm in the shadows. I'm a Sigma. I don't like a lot of attention. I don't like a lot of noise. I don't like a lot of drama. I don't like a lot of riffraff. That's why I don't fuck with the Chaos Goblin, the BW. I want to live a smooth, cool, peaceful, chill, laid-back life to the best of my ability. And that does not include working my ass off at any point. I'd rather have more time than more money. Instead of working hard, I'd rather have more time to have leisure, because life is short. You only get one. That's it. You only get one that we know of, right? So I want to always have a balance to the way I live my life, a balance to the way I do things, and the way I operate. Again, we can live in the shadows in different ways. There's no wrong way to live in the shadows unless you an extrovert. If you're an extrovert, you're not a shadow dweller. There's nothing wrong with being an extrovert. But the shadows, the dwellers, are for Sigma introverts, not alpha extroverts. And if you're an alpha extrovert, that's a beautiful thing, because that is your personality. There's nothing wrong with that. You got the alpha personality trait that's very extroverted, and then you got the Sigma that's introverted and not as outgoing, more laid back, more chill. And that's who we are. Most of us in the shadows are Sigmas. I'm not saying there's no alpha shadow dweller. I don't even know if you can be a shadow dweller and be alpha. But most of us are just laid back and low key with it, man. I don't need a whole lot to enjoy myself. And the last thing I want to do is miss out on relaxation and enjoyment for working too hard. Now, listen, I've done the overtime. I've done the hours. I don't mind working hard for a time, but a balance. And again, if you got a goal in mind, you might need to grind 6 months, a year. Don't put in the comment section, well, Ram, I'm trying to get this. I need to grind for a year. You can tell me that, yeah. But I'm not telling you not to. Sometimes we have to grind for a time, man. You got to grind for a time. But remember, you have to always take a moment to smell the roses, to live your life, to breathe a little bit, enjoy your life. Balance, man. Balance. And I'm comfortable staying right here in the middle. Somebody called me and said, man, your YouTube channel is banging, man. You got so many classic videos, Black Ram. So many classic videos. And I'm like, you know what? You really can't come up with too many YouTube names that have classic videos. I'm not saying they're not rich and great YouTubers, but I do have some classic foundational videos. But yet I don't have 100,000 subs. And you know what? I'll never have 100,000 subs. But I'm content with that. And that's the thing. I'm content. Now, would I have liked 100,000 subs? You betcha. Because I can put out the same video and with the AdSense revenue, get 10 times the amount that I'm getting now. Of course, that would be nice. But that's not in the cards. So the ultimate thing about me being in the shadow and having a balance is being content. Could I probably try to work hard to put out more videos to get more revenue? Yeah, I probably could do that. And maybe if I put out a video every single day, it might lure me into the 100,000 subscriber bracket, man. But I just don't have that kind of energy. After working overtime, after having heart surgeries, after having shoulder surgeries, after having a stressful job and, loss and all these other things. Nah, man, I got to chill, bro. If I can't get it with my live streams and my videos, then it's not going to be gotten, man. So I don't think 100,000 subscribers is going to be gotten. I don't think it's in the cards. But I've learned to be content with my almost 70K. I don't even know if I ever hit 70K, but I'm fine with my almost 70,000 subscribers. Of course, who wouldn't want more? But just maybe, when the crypto runs and H-bar goes to $1,000 and it's game over and I shut the YouTube and the Patreon down, then I'll really get to live in the shadows as a rich man in the shadows. And I believe I did a live stream about that before. And I believe it's on this Patreon page, Living Rich in the Shadows, man. And all that'll do is put me in a black Toyota Tundra instead of a black Lexus. But it's been long enough, man. Remember that everything is balanced. And the goal for me in my life at my age, man, is just to live as peacefully and smoothly and comfortably and low key as possible, man. I don't even need a new girlfriend. You know, I was heartbroken before and had to recover from that. That was 3 years ago. I don't even want a new girlfriend, man. I don't even want that kind of drama. Just let me get a chick. She can come through, cook clean. We can eat, fuck, suck. She can go on her way after we done spent 24 hours together, and I'm content with that. I'll get another chick tomorrow. I don't need to be in love again. I don't need to, make a chick wifey and all this other. I don't need none of that shit. None of that shit. Just trying to live as peaceful as possible in the shadows, man. Black Ram 313, thank you for being a subscriber to the Patreon page. More In the Shadows videos coming. Black Ram, I am out.